Well, that was a fucking Xfinity Series race, and we got a fight out of it, and Ty Gibbs is a bitch for keeping his helmet on. We have so much to talk about. What's up, guys? It's Beyond. I'm back with another video. The thumbnail's gonna say it all, part of it at least. But here's the Xfinity Series race review for Martinsville. Yeah, last night's race in the trucks was an anticlimactic finish. Tonight was fucking chaos, and I love it. So, I mean, this race provided everything. I mean, there was a lot of wrecks, mostly due to guys in the back. Joe Graf Jr., what were you doing? Like, I'm a fan of yours, but what the fuck are you doing? You spun two guys tonight. Like, bro, what the fuck? Earnhardt Jr. was in this race, his one race a year, and he got into one of the guys that runs for him, causing a flat tire for him, that being Josh Berry. We'll get to that later. Um, there was even a New Hampshire native in this race. Like, hey, rep the 603, Derek Griffith. So yeah, let's get into this, shall we? So speaking of Griffith and Earnhardt, they, along with Noah Gragson and Kyle Weatherman and Howie DiSavino III, would start the back due to unapproved adjustments. And then, just as the drivers got the command to fire engines, Mother Nature appears, spitting rain, and the drivers told to shut the cars off. So then, when we do get the race started, not even a full lap in, Brandon Poole's engine potentially expires. Caution comes out, and that was pretty much an omen for the rest of the night. Moffitt goes high into the corner on the restart, drops back, takes it to the garage. Apparently a transmission issue. Dale Jr. reports he has a vibration under braking. DiSavino III brings out the next caution, reporting he has no drive shaft. And NASCAR called Ty Gibbs to the hauler after the race to slow down when the caution comes out. NASCAR race control warns that if you don't do that, you get sent to the back. He didn't get sent to the back here, but he still gets called to the hauler. And it's funny because it's like, I don't think this is the first time he's done it. So in previous races, so add that on top of everything else for him. Unfortunately, DiSavino's night is done, as well as Poole and Moffitt, all being done for the night. And Ty Gibbs would take the stage one victory. Justin Allgaier second, Ryan Truex third, Landon Castle fourth, Daniel Hemrick fifth, AJ Allmendinger sixth, Brandon Jones seventh, Josh Berry eighth, Sam Mayer ninth, and Sheldon Creed in 10th. Grayson and others stand after having pitted under the previous caution. Shane Lee got a speeding penalty. We get a caution for Jade Buford. He goes for a spin thanks to Joe Graf Jr. Graf reported that he got pushed into Jade entering the corner. Take that for what you will. Sheldon Creed shown with a bunch of damage to the front of his car. We still don't know what the fuck happened there. Fox, the fuck? Natalie Decker had a tire up here. We get another caution, this time for Stephen Parsons, and he got spun by Joe Graf Jr. Again, Joe, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I'm a fan of yours. I got to meet you at Loudon last year. The fuck you doing? Caution comes out with 6, almost 5 laps to go in stage 2. This time for Derek Griffith. He gets pushed into the corner by Anthony Alfredo. You could tell with how the left rear wheel was moving. And after Griffith threw a block on him, and Griffith goes around. Several drivers would pit under this caution. Brandon Jones and Landon Castle, the first two to stay out, along with David Starr. It would be a 1-lap dash to the finish. And also Natalie Decker would take her car to the garage, but would return laps later. And Brandon Jones, he holds on to the lead for a lap, and he wins stage 2. Castle second, Ryan Sieg third, Brandon Brown fourth, David Starr fifth. I feel like people are gonna bring this up in the future, when they in their arguments against Joe Graf Jr. Which, by the way, Graf got 12th in the stage because pit strategy, because of other people pitting. But like, again, Starr was only up there because other people pitted, so fuck you. Anthony Alfredo 6th, Stephen Parsons 7th, Jeremy Clements 8th, Riley Herbst 9th, and Shane Lee in 10th. Stephen Parsons, Riley Herbst, and Shane Lee would stay out. And we get a caution a little bit later, this time for Justin Allgaier. He enters the corner, slides up, backing into the wall with the right rear, the cause of which being wheel hop. And Joe Graf Jr. being shown with heavy front end damage during the caution. He got the free pass under said caution. At first I thought it came after the fact, but if you watch the overhead replay of Allgaier going when he went into the corner, you can see, because Graf was in front of him. He was already lapped, but Allgaier was catching him, and you could tell there was front end damage. So, okay. Some drivers would stay out, Matt Mills among them. Justin Allgaier gets in the wall again. Ryan Truex goes around with bringing out the caution. Alex Labay helped him out with that. Then, less than a lap later, the aforementioned Josh Berry Earnhardt Jr. caution. Berry goes for a spin in the corner thanks to a left rear tire being down after some contact with Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the backstretch. Caution comes out again, less than a lap after the restart. This time, Matt Mills getting dumped by Riley Herbst. Natalie Decker shown having stopped on track as well, although she was not a part of that. So then we get going again. Brandon Jones makes a little bit of contact with Ty Gibbs. Almost thought he would get spun there, to be quite honest with you. Ryan Sieg and Myatt Snyder make contact. Snyder is shown with a tire rub. And then Stephen Parsons gets into the wall, and he brings out the caution. Then we get another caution a few laps later for Daniel Hemrick with a tire down thanks to contact from Sheldon Creed. Landon Castle looked like he got Austin Hill into Daniel Hemrick next, and then into the corner, and then into the next corner, Dale Jr. takes it 3 wide and makes contact with Sieg, who makes contact with Hill. Brandon Jones and Noah Gragson make a little bit of contact. I almost thought Noah Gragson was going to get his tire cut down thanks to Jones. Luckily, he didn't. We get another caution, this time for Derek Griffith and Jay Buford. It looked like Bailey Curry pushed Buford into the corner, or Buford locked the brakes up, hard to tell, and Griffith had nowhere to go. Then we get another caution, this time for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Josh Berry tries to go under Jeremy Clements into the corner, and it did not work in the slightest. Earnhardt Jr. went around thanks to Clements. As a result, luckily, he was not collected by anybody else. And Sheldon Creed was shown a bit slow on pit road, although it might have been at speed. I don't know. It was hard to tell. It looked slower than normal on the broadcast. And then we get the restart, which would be the first overtime. And we get a caution and a red flag. So Sam Mayer got turned into Noah Gragson on the restart coming across the start-finish line, and calamity ensues. Mason Massey, Brandon Brown, Justin Allgaier. The funny part about Allgaier being involved is that Daniel Hemrick, it looked like he was going to sneak through with no problems, and then he got backed into by Allgaier not once, but twice. Holy shit. But them, Jeb Burton, Alex Labay, Derek Griffith, Josh Berry, Matt Mills, Kyle Weatherman, Jeremy Clements, Daniel Hemrick, etc. involved. Mayer's shifter knocked out a gear, according to the broadcast. We had heard it was a gearing, either a shifter or gear issue, but that pretty much clarified that up. So we get a red flag for cleanup. Then we go back to caution. Barry's shown with a tire rub and a bunch of damage. He pits. Burton takes his car to the garage because they could not keep the fucking hood down, and the front end was all kinds of fucked up. So now we get to the finish of the race. After all of that, Brandon Jones moves Ty Gibbs in turn 1, but it didn't matter at that point. Gibbs was still able to hold on to the lead, and he did take the white flag. However, Jones got a run off turn 4, and Jones got by him through the next set of corners in 1 and 2, and then going through 3 and 4, Mayer, in a bit of a last-ditch effort, I would say, he takes it 3 wide with Gibbs and Castle through the middle. And Jones wins. Castle gets second. Gibbs falls to like 8th. Mayer still managed to get a top 5 out of it. Austin Hill sneaks into the top 4 with a 4th place finish. Allmendinger finished 3rd. And then Gibbs followed Mayer on the pit road. Gibbs gives Mayer a shove. Mayer talks to him. A little bit of shoving. All this and that, and then fight breaks out. And then Gibbs gets interviewed afterward. He got booed the fuck out of, but like Gibbs, bro, you do this to other people, right? Like, look at what happened last week. Now, say what you will about the finish with John Hunter Nemechek, and quite frankly, I would have laughed if Gibbs went to lap Griffith at one point, and again Griffith takes him out. It's like, that's for John Hunter Nemechek last week. I would have laughed, but it obviously didn't happen. But for Gibbs, bro, you moved Nemechek out of the way for the win last week. You run out there with sort of like a lack of respect, and then you try to make yourself look sympathetic afterward. To use a wrestling term, you're a fucking heel. You are a fucking heel. You cannot make yourself look sympathetic after the fact with some of the shit that you pull on the racetrack. You know, like seriously, like own the fuck up to it, bro. Like I get it. You're about as young as I am, which says a lot. Actually, I think he's younger. Um, but like, come on, dude. You gotta own up to it. You know? What Mayer did, I don't have a problem with it because he was trying to make a move and see what happens. Was he gonna win? No. But it's the last lap, the last set of corners. You're gonna make a move like that. He took it 3 wide, and it pushed Gibbs up. Is what it is, I guess. I mean, look at their history. Like, you had to think this was coming. I mean, Gibbs and Mayer, look at them in ARCA. Like, bro, look at their history. Like, they're going to be the future, and I cannot wait to see more battles between the two of them. Now, they don't run Bristol Dirt next week, Xfinity, that is. That's for the Cup and Truck Series. They will be back at Talladega, so I wouldn't think Gibbs would get Mayer back there if he decides to, because that would be dangerous, because Talladega. But you have to think Gibbs is going to remember that, and he's going to get Mayer back at some point. But for Mayer, I mean, come on. Like, I feel bad for Mayer because I thought he was going to have, even with Gibbs being in the lead, I thought he was going to have a chance at the win. And then when the shifter fucked itself on the previous restart, I was like, fuck, because it screwed Gragson over. And by the way, why the hell did Gragson not line up behind Mayer on the last couple of restarts before that? Like, bro, you could have helped your teammate out. I get it. Jones was going to be behind Gibbs in that situation, but Jones didn't seem keen on helping Gibbs on the last restart. So, yeah, could have done a little better there, teammate wise. But then again, it seems like everybody from Junior Motorsports, even Dale Jr. for that matter, it seems like they all find a way to get in each other's way somehow. Like, I don't get it. But anyway, that was one hell of a race, and I cannot wait to see how the Cup race does. Cup race does tonight. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future uploads, and I will catch you all next time. Peace.